Good morning, friends. This is Maria at the Happy Place. I have two new journals to show you. These are obviously bee journals. I used Artie Meese's kit, and I also used some of my porch prints digital kits. They got a little out of control. They are, I guess, my chunkiest journals ever. Very gator mouth. But I had so much fun. I couldn't help myself. So I'm going to go through them. They each have 3 signatures. Let's measure them. The larger one is 8.5 tall by a little more than 5.5 wide. And the smaller one is 6.5 tall by about 5 3/4 wide. So let's take a look inside the smaller one first. So I used a satin ribbon closure, and you could see lots of collaging on the front. On the inside, this is a canvas heart that I made, and I did some slow stitching on it, and I used all kinds of little elements. I was going to make these into little pillows, but I have so many of them hanging around that I took a few and made pockets out of them. And this is some watercolor paper that I painted on. It's just a little journaling card. Let's tuck in there. So this is the bee kit. This is a little vellum envelope with a tag, little daisy on it, and there's lots of stitching and old book pages. This one has 2 little tags that I made. This one is one of the Artie Meese tags. Some grid paper. I did some stenciling and some stamping and collaging. And this is just a little journaling card. I also used Mrs. Cog's Images, the Beekeeper. And this just has a little yellow bead on it, on a little eyelet. This is from a book I had gotten. It's a ledger from the 1800s here, 1891. And some beautiful handwriting on there. This is a little vellum envelope with a card in it. And this is just a little coin envelope that came with the kit. And inside here is a little journaling card with a little tab. I did some painting and some stamping on some of the pages. This tea-dyed paper. This is the straw paper from Italy that I've seen on Roxy Creations. I got myself a nice batch of that. Lots of collaging. I think this one's from My Porch Prints. And there's 2 little tags and a little vellum word, like a card that you could put somewhere in the journal if you want. It's the center of the first. This is a little pocket that I made. It has a little fabric ruffle there. And it's a little poem about a honeybee. And I stuck that in that pocket. This is, I believe, from Andrea's kit from Artie Meese. And I made it as like just a little journaling space tuck. So that goes over the page with a little paper clip to hold it in place. There's some more of that painted paper. Little tuck spot with a bee card in there. And there's a little pocket here. And in the pocket, I just put a little piece of tea-dyed paper with one of the images from the kit. And this is from a book I have about birds. There's some more of that ledger. Little tuck spot here, little pocket. My little bee stamp and stenciling. And 2 journaling cards. A little grid paper. Another little spot. Little dangle here with some lace and a little daisy charm. And this is from an old botanical book. I tried my hand at curling a paper clip. Came out so cute. Little lace on top. And then it just has a little, this is actually the straw paper. I put an image from My Porch Prints on the straw paper. And it's a little journaling spot. And just tuck that under the paper clip. Little pocket over here on a book page. This is a little velcroed section. Little tiny tag in there, and inside there's some papers that you could use to write on, and that tucks away with a little velcro. These are beautiful papers from the kit. A little belly band with some embossed paper here. This is some watercolor paper. This is a little tuck spot with a little daisy. And there's, this is actually another kit. I'm trying to remember whose kit it is. There's an embossed tag, some straw paper on the back for journaling. So this is a belly band, some straw paper that I stamped, folded up. It's actually a large piece of paper that you could write on and tuck in here. And then I took a little piece and tucked it into this little belly band here. So you got 2 little spots there. I did some of my fancy stitching from my new sewing machine. That was fun. This is a journaling card that I just made from images. This is a little music sheet with bees on it that I found. And this is the stenciled tea dye paper. There's a little side tuck cluster, a little belly band. This is one that I made with some images from Mrs. Coggs, and then inside I used sort of Artemis paper, little journaling spot. And this is a little bag with some journaling spots. This was an index card that I just stenciled and stamped on. Did a little painting on the edges to match the color scheme. This is a little envelope. It's got 2 little tags in it. This is actually a flash card, and that opens up to the center, and there's 2 little tags in there. And then I don't know if you could see this. This is, see how chunky it is? It doesn't even lay flat. I mean, it does lay flat, but you can't even see it. So it's got 2 more little tags in there, little bee stamp. And this is just a little library card, and I put another little pocket on the front. It's got another little journaling space in the back. And then this is an envelope. Just has a plain journaling card in it. There's the painted paper. There's one of Mrs. Coggs' images. They're so beautiful. And that's just a little on a piece of paper that I had. And some stitching. This is another little handmade tags that I made. Some fussy cut flowers. Lace on the top. Lots of stitching. That's from a botanical book. This is a little coin envelope with a little pin stuck in there. This has a little journaling card tucked in the side. And this is an envelope that has a journaling card in the back. Little tuck spot. It's actually a belly band. Can you see on the bottom? It's coming right through. So it's like a little belly band. And then inside I put couple of things in here, some journaling space. And those tuck away. And this just tucks under there to close. This is another little pad of paper. A couple of sheets of paper in there with some bee paper. Another little coin envelope. And this is a little bee prayer that I found. I thought it was so sweet. Included that. It's another little image from Mrs. Coggs. I think that's Yellow in the Garden, though. Some washi tape and a journaling card. This journal was so much fun. I had so many different ideas I wanted to use, and it just got filled up so much. This is a little bag. Did I put anything in this one? Maybe I didn't. Nope, that one's empty. For you to fill up. A little tiny tuck spot there. And I also painted on, some of these little book pages. This is like a little double pocket, double belly band here with 2 little journaling cards. And this is an envelope with little journaling cards in there and a little tiny tuck space in the front. So cute. I just love the colors. They're so happy. That, I think, little phrase is from My Porch Prince. This is just a piece of tea-dyed paper, and I put some bee stamps on it. That tucks behind here for some journaling space. This pocket is also empty. This is a little corner tuck that can move. It's just clipped on with a paper clip, and you can tuck things in there. And this is a little pocket with some stenciled paper, more bee stamps. This is from the bird book. This is another little pocket. This is a little side tuck with a cluster that I made. And on the back, this has a little dangle with a tiny little gold bumblebee and some lace and trim on a beautiful, this is vintage lace that I had. And in the back pocket, this is from My Porch Prince, and it's a little, I don't even know what you call it. It's like an envelope that has all these little tuck spots. I actually haven't stuffed it with things. I will. I'll do that next. You'll see it in my next one. And I'll have to leave this one out so I remember that I have to stuff that one. But that's the smaller of the journals. Only in height. They're both 3 signatures. This is our larger one. Same type of cluster on the front, but I put a little book plate that I painted, and it says, "Beautiful, be you." And am I in frame? So this one also has the same watercolor paper, and it has one of those index cards that I painted on and stenciled and stamped. And this is from one of the kits that I have. I put a little bee up there. And this, I stamped the bee, and then I did some embroidery on it to give it some color. So this one has a little tuck spot here, but it also opens up for some writing space. It's an old book page. There's a little pocket with a little journaling card, little stamps. This is a little belly band with a journaling card. This is some of that Italian straw paper. This is more of that beautiful ledger from the 1800s. This is 1896. This is a layered pocket. Has a whole bunch of journaling cards and poems, and on the front there's a little band here, and I just made a little tiny booklet with a little embellishment on the front, and that just tucks behind there. I love the way that came out. This is just a tiny little pocket here with a bumblebee on a bag, a little side pocket, a little cluster on the top. So this is a CD case, and it opens up with a journaling card in the back, and there's a big journaling card in the inside. You can see our little bee in there. This is from a beautiful old botanical book. This is a little flip out that I made with old book page, and I put some journaling space here. This is a little pocket. You could put something in if you wanted. You just put a little pocket in there. And then it has a tag in the back with some not stamped, these are die cuts, and I watercolored those flowers. It was so much fun to do. And I used the colors from the kit. I got my beautiful yellows in there. That tucks right away in there. This is that painted paper. So I did a lot of painting, a lot of stamping, a lot of collaging. So there was a lot of work put into this journal. I had so much fun doing it. I'm a teacher back at school right now, so it was my last labor of love before I have some slow crafting months being back at work. So this was my fun that I did over the summer. This has a large pad of paper on a bag, and that's Mrs. Coggs. Got a little lace ruffle there. It goes in here. This is also one of my hand-painted watercolor die cuts, and I made a little cluster there. And this is an index card that I just tea-dyed and painted and stamped and stenciled. Love the way that came out. And this is more of that beautiful ledger. This is the Italian straw paper. A little book page. There's a little pocket here. A little pocket here. This is actually also a pocket. It was getting so full that I stopped stuffing it. Of these beautiful pages. A little corner tuck. Another little card. This is a little flip out. It has more little paper, some stamped images, and there's a card in here. Honeybee. And that tucks in that seed envelope. More botanical. Oh, look at that gorgeous ledger. 1895. Nobody has penmanship like that anymore. And it's interesting to read to see how much things were. There's a little flip out with a little flower that I made. Layered up some scrap paper, some scraps. This is from Andrea's beautiful kit. There's a little pocket here with a little collage, straw paper. I made this one a little pocket with a little bee image in there. Hope I'm in frame. Here's your little CD case. Opens up, and it has beautiful image from Mrs. Cog layered up in there, and that tucks away. I love the way my bee stamp, I used it a lot in this journal, obviously. And I love the way the little bees look like they're flying off the page. Just a little decoration I put on top. This is also a little pocket if you want. And there's also a bag. This one's empty. This is also a little bag and some clusters. There's two little quotes from Mrs. Cog, but I made them into little pockets also. So if you wanted to put little tags in there, you can. This was just getting so full that I left it for you to fill up. Had to leave you some space. There's a beautiful little cluster page. Again, envelope. There's a bag for you to put things in for mementos or pictures or tickets. This is an embossed pocket. And this is another one of those watercolor cards that I hand painted the watercolors on from the die cuts. Here's another piece of straw paper, book page, some of Andrea's beautiful kit. I love these. They're just so beautiful. There's some more watercolor die cuts on a journal card. This is just a little cluster of all different scraps. This is a CD case that I decorated, and inside is the bee prayer that I included here. That tucks in. And there's a little tuck spot here with a little journaling spot. And a little card with a little lace daisy. Here's a pocket and another empty bag. This is a little side tuck. This is paper that I made with all scraps, and I put one of Mrs. Cog's images on. It's a great journaling spot. And this is a little flip out. Has cute little tickets in the back. This is another one of those little flips I made with my watercolor flowers. Lots of stamping, more watercolor flowers and washi. And in the side is a little tag tucked up behind it for some more journaling space. And here's some more of those old books, my painted paper. This is just a floating pocket. I put a little bee stamp in there, but you can move that anywhere you want. It has a little Tim Holtz clip holding it in place. There's a book page that I put some paper on. This is the center of the last signature. It's got two bee tags in there, a little postcard. And this is also a pocket I made from some scraps. And a tiny little pocket with a coin envelope. This is a little stamped image, but I put it on some tea-dyed paper for some secret journaling that you could do, and just put that anywhere you want in your journal with a little clip. And this is the back end of the journal. This one has another little flip out. Lots of journaling space. I don't know, can you see that? And it's also a pocket. And here's a little cluster that has a tag on the side, straw paper, an empty bag for your mementos, another little side tuck with a bee postcard, and then in the back it has that little bee charm with a cluster of all different fabrics and laces, and some homemade journaling cards. This is that index card that I painted and tea-dyed and stamped. And then this is that pocket. I didn't stuff this one either. I'll stuff them both. It'll be a little surprise for you. But these are all little tuck spots and pockets that I'll put little things in. And I'll give you a little surprise if you end up buying this journal. So there are my beautiful bee journals. And it's a linen fabric on there. And I hope you love them, even though they got kind of carried away and overstuffed. But I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you soon. check out my Etsy shop.